Hello, everyone. I want to begin with a simple reminder, one that sounds ordinary but carries a truth we often forget. Everyone's fighting a battle you don't see. Sometimes, those battles are loud, a heartbreak, a loss, a failure. But most of the time, they are quiet. They happen inside the mind, behind polite smiles, behind that "I'm fine" message sent at midnight. We live in a world that celebrates strength, productivity, success, resilience. But rarely do we celebrate gentleness, vulnerability, or slowing down. So we wear masks. We pretend to be okay because the world rewards okay. Yet here's the truth. Behind every person you meet, the cashier at the store, the colleague who always looks cheerful, the student who suddenly went quiet, the parent who never complains, there's a private battle unfolding. And just because we don't see it doesn't mean it isn't real. A few years ago, I met a teacher who said, "I've been strong for so long that I don't even know how to ask for help anymore." That line stayed with me because how many of us live that way? We keep going, not because we're unbreakable, but because we have no choice. There are parents working two jobs, students hiding anxiety behind perfect grades, employees smiling through exhaustion, and each of them is fighting something, a fear, a loss, a loneliness that no one else knows about. If you're one of them, please hear this. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are human. Now imagine what the world would look like if we treated every person as someone who might be struggling quietly. Maybe we'd be more patient. Maybe we'd listen before judging. Maybe we'd pause before reacting online. Kindness is not always a grand gesture. Sometimes it's a small message that says, "Take your time." It's a smile that says, "I see you." It's choosing to understand even when it's easier to criticize. Empathy is not about fixing people. It's about walking beside them through the fog. It's saying, "You're not alone, even if I can't take away your pain." And that simple act of saying can save someone's day. Sometimes it can even save a life. But what about our own battles? The ones we keep buried because the world might not understand. I've learned that healing begins the moment we admit, "I'm not okay," and that's okay. Strength is not about never falling apart. It's about the courage to rebuild, to rest when needed, to ask for help without shame. In a world that teaches us to be fine, being honest about your pain is a quiet form of rebellion. And in that honesty, others find the courage to be real too. No matter where we live, whether it's Manila, New York, Mumbai, Lagos, or London, we share one truth. We all wake up with worries. We all crave peace. We all want to be understood. Pain doesn't need translation, but neither does kindness. Both are universal languages. When we start seeing people not as their roles, teacher, worker, parent, but as humans carrying invisible weights, we build bridges, and little by little, the world becomes gentler. So, what can we do today to make this truth matter? First, be kind, even when no one's watching. Second, listen, because silence often speaks louder than advice. Then forgive, yourself and others. We're all learning. And finally, check in on your friends, your co-workers, and most importantly, on yourself. Because the people who look the strongest are often the ones carrying the heaviest load. And if you happen to be that person right now, take this as your sign to rest, to breathe, to keep going, one small step at a time. So the next time you meet someone, whether it's online or in person, remember this. You're not seeing the full story. You're only seeing a chapter. And in that unseen part, a battle is being fought. Quietly, bravely. Let's be gentler with the world, because everyone you meet is carrying something you cannot see. This is my Porte. And if today's story spoke to you, pause for a moment. Breathe. Let it remind you that you're doing better than you think. We all carry things no one else can see, and that's okay. You don't have to win every battle today. Sometimes, just showing up is already a victory. So if this talk made you pause, share it with someone who might need a quiet reminder. And please do subscribe for more real talks that speak to the soul. Because here, we don't just talk about strength, we honor the quiet courage it takes to keep going. Wherever you are, whatever you're carrying, walk gently. You are not alone in your battle.